Friends, what a disaster in the market today for me anyway. You know, it is just basically flat across the board. But boy, I got my darn, I did the head and shoulder. I got my head cut off on dang China. You kid me? What a joke! I don't know if you saw that. The yang, it got pounded. I'm right from the get go. I couldn't even overnight. It was looking good. I had that view last night. And all of a sudden, apparently, um, which there's a lot of shenanigans with that whole. I think I'm done doing the international stuff because that was ridiculous. So here's what happened in China. They claimed that they'd opened up the borders for tourists to come in and out of the country, and so there's no quarantine to come into China. Well, what does that mean? Well, there's probably few workers, not very many in China, not kidding, businessmen, stuff like that. But boy, did it rip up. I'm seriously, the China, it was up like 5% on the major, the China index, right? And I thought, what in the heck? Yeah, so here's the thing is, so what does that mean? It's like, well, okay, they already played that. They see it's using your card 10 times. They do this in the stock market. They'll use it once, and they'll use a little spin on it, and they put another spin on it. They already said that they're reducing their they are going to reduce their, last week they said they're going to reduce, that was the first bump it took. They said they're already going to reduce their virus mandates and restrictions. And so it's obvious, what does that mean? If this is already should have been baked in the pie. But the average Joe NPC dorkness, moron, this it takes a download. See, and even though they're NPCs, they operate at such a low mentality. Oh yes, buy, because even that. So let's say a majority that's going to be 80% is going to be tourism that comes into China. Well, the entire rest of the stock market index of China, basically did nothing. The companies, but it was all the high tech ones, the ones that are engaged in technical businesses that have nothing to do with tourism. China has very little economy based on tourism. It's all about slavery and production, whether it's workforce, right? It's all it's about. That is its bread and butter. And so all these high tech companies, that Baidu, boom, are you kidding me? That was ridiculous. I mean, but it's okay. It's just what it is, right? Because we know that they play news games. Like that's why we do this charting, right? So anyway, so let me go on to silver first, though, before this. Now, what you got at silver is basically a double top. I don't know if you've seen this. Remember, I am short silver right here. And it's a stupid one. It's probably not very smart to be short into the commodities. But there's a double top. See that? So we should get a pullback, and still I'm looking for that gap fill. And hopefully that happens tomorrow. I'd like to see that, so we've got 3 bars up, actually. It's not really 3 white soldiers because you got that red one there. But you know what? I'm going to say 3 up days. It's going to go sideways or down tomorrow. So I'm going to hold my short on that. Did not do well on that. Well, not well. It's very that move. I think it's like, oh my gosh, like $20 or something is what I'm down on that one. Okay. So let me show you so we got that before. Let me show you here. We got that MACD rollover. It's coming. So silver, it should be rolling over. Now that's what makes this difficult for this market, because people should be running to commodities as the stock market goes down. I still have a projected Santa Claus rally's dead. So that's going to be tough. Other than, well, not tough because remember they're going to sell all assets. Never mind. It's not tough because it should be, that means there'll be a very high pressure sell all assets versus a run to safety net to silver. So anyway, I'm just drawing arrows there. So as this rolls over, the market should follow it, go with it. Normally when, like I said, normally when the stock market used to go up, silver would go, no, sorry. As the stock market would fall, silver and the commodities would go up, but this has all been disconnected now. I mean, seriously, this is such a joke. This market is it's not trading by historical standards by any means. We know this. It's all been destroyed. Everything in here. So let's move on to, I'll show you the yang just real quick because I talked about it. Should have had that up when I did talking about it, but anyway. Yang, the full screen here. Yang, here we go. Well, here we go. We got that head and shoulder pattern I talked to you about. Look at this. That's what bothered me about me to short this thing. But it's almost done. Here's the head and shoulder. Remember I told you, don't go short into head and shoulder. See that? And now it's twirling down here. But it should get a lift off this head and shoulder, right? It should get a lift off there. Now let's see what we got here. It got destroyed here, but here's the thing is we got a gap now. And now that could be, look at the volume on it too. Not great. I would like to see more higher volume in this. You know, this holiday season too. So then you got a lot of non-retail investors. No, yeah. You just got a lot of the general investors, you know, the private investors and stuff like that, not retail. So here we go. So look, I'm gonna zoom in there. So you got that gap. So I'm holding because if worst case scenario, I should get some of this candle back. If not, it should be the gap fill easy, right? And the reason we're still looking at, so I'm looking at the potential risk reward, and we still got that gap fills off the head and shoulders. So we got here, here, here as well, right? So I'm gonna hold that a little bit because I guarantee you we're gonna see some movement here and it should be okay. It's okay. I mean, seriously, this is a game of chess. It's bad. That, oh, and also got the turning up of the MACD. So, you know, see how it's turning up. So we've got that split. So I'm okay, but boy, what a hit though, because boy, we got to do a lot of work here now. We have a lot of work to start pumping this thing up, right? So that's the issue there. Even though it's turned up, it could drift, you know, before it comes up. But I think it's going to turn pretty quick. Let me see. I should have been moving the averages in there, but that's okay. All right. What else? Silver, that. Oh, UVX actually called ProShares again. That thing do not use as the instrument for tracking the VIX. The VIX is up like 3% at one time, and the UVX is down 5%. I kid you not. And I swear to God, I told my mother, I'm not saying I'm special, but they must know when Kirk gets pissed and I start calling because I had them on the phone. This was going on for half an hour. I started calling ProShares. I said, there's going to be criminal activity on this because they're supposed to track the indexes beyond. It's fakery and so bad that I started calling there, and all of a sudden it corrected itself. I'm not kidding. Within about 2 minutes, this is impossible. It went from 3% red to 1% green, no 1.5% green in like 30 seconds. And even though the VIX had not moved. I've actually talked to ProShares about that this morning, and it's other bullshit. They'll never be held accountable. Nobody is. See, that's the problem with this world. Nobody's held accountable for anything. Police officers ain't held accountable for doing their duty. Nobody's held accountable for the jobs. Stock market, they'll say, "Oh, we try our best. We put the warning in there." So that'd be like, I would never do this. Should I put a warning? We go around and start beating people with bats, and that make me not accountable if it happens. That's the way this rule operates. Always throw out a warning, and then they're not held accountable for anything because it was in there that we said we might not be able to track it that well, and if it involves criminal activity. See, that's some of the stuff. I'm not saying that this is for ProShares, but an example of the way this rule works. I'm sorry that we didn't do our job, and we're doing criminal stuff, but we warned you about that. It's your fault for not understanding. You know what I mean? That's why we need our Father, Lord, angels, the gods, the sub-gods, all the high command above to hold them accountable. Because in this world, we don't see that. So it better not be as above or so below, as below above. I see people these idlers get destroyed by their actions. But I don't really see a lot of people being held by completely by their criminal activity. And, a lot of it gets just swept under the carpet. I talked to a SEC agent that was retired even about a year and a half ago, and he said, what's interesting about this? He said that it's all just shoved under the carpet, Kirk. Nobody's held accountable. He said that. He said the Clintons did a lot of nasty, killed people, murdered. He said it's just all, you lift the corner of the carpet. He said they shove it under and hide it. That's why he didn't believe in God. Because I talked to him, because he does not believe, he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. He is a really great guy. But I said, well, what do you think about God? He goes, oh, no. He said, really? He said, Bud, really? He said, I work this out. I see such nasty crap and so much disgust. He said, you got to be kidding me. He said, your God just sits there and watches him pull up the corner of the carpet and shove everything under and stick it down and step on it. He said, there's no justice. He said, that's no God. He said, that's just all bullshit. See? There's the issue. Now, that's just unfortunate. I'm not trying to insult our Father, Lord, this. They should have done a little bit of justice more to tell us that they actually are doing that. But you know what? I'm not bitching because I'm here, and that's why we're here, because we're trying to expose this. Every time I bitch, I gotta remind myself, check. But see, that's the thing. I can't check myself forever, though. So, and the Lord, I've told him, I said, you have got to have the Father, so many times, send me a message that I am on this mission to help you, number one. Number two, then doing the right things, too. And I have not got that message yet, okay? So in the Lord, I love him, and he's the best brother, messenger. I wouldn't be here if everything he's done. He knows the end. Your God and Creator has to send me that message, and I haven't seen it yet. And maybe it's in timing. I'm not kidding you. He knows it. I said it. I said, I got to see that message confirmed, because I said, I will not let our ancestors, I will not let you brothers and sisters, I will not do any more harm or anybody. And they know this unless I have direct communication from our God and Creator. And the God and Creator is about twice has talked to me directly, and other times as well. So not complete. So I don't want to just say that, but I need a full-on, they understand what I'm looking for, full-on just message that it is clear as a bell. And I mean, if God has to drop out of wherever and come to our God and Creator himself to stand right in front of me, I will not. And and our Creator knows this, right? Because the Lord's sending that message, right? Anyway, so it's all in timing, because I won't. And then some says, well, that's why your God doesn't just create it. Well, let's not go there. All right. So anyway, back to this. Sorry, I get distracted because I just woke up and I had to take a nap this afternoon. I mean, it's raining again, which sucks. All right. So here's the UVXY. Now they're playing games this candle. So if you want to just day trade either way, you'd sit down here and, like I said, wait for a little bit of more clearance and then follow it through. But you got to be careful to do a head fake and dip in and out thing either way, top or bottom. But some scalpers will do that. They'll sit, they'll sit down here and wait for that. But anyway, and like I said, oops, there's me. There's my hat. All right. There we go. All right. Okay, so what we got going on here is, there's not a good bottom candle, which I don't like. You see, we got that candle there. I talked about there's some heavy volume on stuff like that. That big move on it. But boy, they didn't have a bottoming candle, which is concerned. They might want to wash out first before they jump it up. But it's settling in here. We've got the MACD too low, so it should be moving on up and stuff like that. And so overall, it's okay. It's not bad. It's just kind of drifting here, So we're just going to sit there in that position. I still got the UXY. Disappointed, like I said. It is not trading whatsoever to the VIX. I mean, the VIX can be way green. It'll be red. Like today, I was like, what is going on? And they do use different contracts. I get that. But anyway, you got to at least, you can't be selling your advertising that you're falling. And that's like saying we trade the industry, we track the cheese industry, cheese market or whatever, just cheeses. And then you end up finding out they're in beer, or beer's down, cheese is up, right? Like beer and cheeses. I'm like, that's how bad it is. It is a fakery, and they didn't know what to say when I was talking, especially this lady. I'm like, well, what's your opinion on this? She's like, yeah, it's pretty stupid. It doesn't follow anything. It's like a fall in the wind, right? So anyway, I might find another instrument that tries to fax. You can buy the contracts, puts it on calls yourself, but I don't like manage those damn things. You got to pay attention to K. I'm not good about buying calls and puts and writing them and this crap and that. All right, which, maybe I should, right? So what else? You got Silver, Yang, VIX. What else am I holding? Silver, Yang, VIX, and oil. That's it right now. So I looked at opportunities and not seeing anything else right now. There's really not much there. There is not much there. So, you can go into I told the breakfast trade, the oil, eggs, milk, and all that stuff. But, boy, for natural gas, this jump should have been way better, because they've announced today, they said that because of the last cold spell, which I knew, there should have been more reaction. That they said that a lot of pipes busted here in the United States, this and that, and they said natural gas got damaged and the prices should be up, but it wasn't much movement. Seriously, blow up half the damn infrastructure, United States of America, nothing hardly moves. Really, even on the really. But anyway, natural gas is more of an international thing. That it tends to be less local hits, because apparently they've got such good reserves here in the United States, blah, 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 this and that. And it goes on. All right. God bless and love you all.